What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. We decided that it's been neglected for long enough. It's time to do the thing with this thing and put this here, duva, in the bottom, underneath, in place of the one that's there, that's very dangerous. So we thought ahead, and Rex made some measurements and did some thinking and some calculations, and we actually have already ordered and had built and have been delivered a tail shaft to suit this new setup. So fingers crossed that was fine and it's gonna fit. But hey, time will tell. But there's a fair bit to go on with this diff. It needs to be prepped before it goes in. There's a few things we got to do. And then obviously there's a lot of cutting, welding, modification, as you would have seen from when we put the one in that thing over there. There's a fair bit of work involved in getting it in there. So yeah, here we are.
A new LSD as well.
Yeah.
Very tightly shimmed LSD.
Tightly shimmed LSD. So anyway, that's basically going to be this episode, because once this goes in and then we get the brakes sorted on this thing, just ready for tune and ready for the street. A few fix-ups, a few little rust patches we've got to do, but be ready for the street though, which, you know, will be handy for us to actually have a ute, being a engine shop. That'd be cool. And if any of you has missed it, we actually did tune a green VX clubby a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the video up in whatever freaking corner, I always get it wrong, but we did a flex tune on a Gen 3 P01 PCM, which we always suspected was possible. We always intended to do it with the 80, but we obviously decided against it because it's amazing that that thing's still alive as it is. But we know it works, so it probably is gonna end up happening with this thing. The gearbox is only rated for 500, and the motor is literally just cobbled together out of crap that we had lying around. But
they're the best kind though.
yeah, we're pretty.
They're normally the ones that live forever.
We're pretty keen to sort of see just how far we can push this thing. Eventually with a new turbo, not this TO4Z off eBay, but you know, maybe one day with a Pulsar G40 and some E85. That'll be a fun little experiment. But anyway, that's for another time. At the moment, it's just a matter of getting this differoonie in the ute so that we've got something that's going to hang on to a little bit of horsepower.
Differoo. Spadoosh.
Suppose I should actually just a little bit
Step 2.
talk about what's going on here instead of just a bunch of nonsense. But this here is a Borg Warner 78 28 spline 4-pinion diff out of a VR Commodore wagon.
Yay.
So this, by all accounts, don't talk to any diff experts about this, but this should, by all accounts, hold you know, maybe 2,000 horsepower. And as you can see,
with that shimmed up LSD.
as you can see, one wheel banana peel all day, came out of a Commodore. So,
And that Commodore definitely had one smashed tyre too. Like that's the last thing that Commodore did in its life was
a big old single
big
peg.
old single pegger.
Single pegs, open legs, boys. So anyway, this is replacing the Salisbury, I think it's a Salisbury in this
10
thing.
bolt, yeah, 10 bolt, Salisbury
So
10
yeah,
bolt.
Salisbury 10 bolt that's in this diff, which is, it's illegal to do burnouts on Salisburys because they actually one exploded while it was doing a burnout on grass and actually killed a man.
It killed a child.
So anyway, they're actually illegal to do skids on.
One of these brake lines as well. That one's actually, it doesn't look that old, but it's got rust in it. I was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with any of this nonsense. So I got new brake line for that. These new as well. And I think I should have some caliper kits. I'd like to redo the calipers, new rotors, new pads. The old girl won't even know itself anymore.
It's a lot to do in 6 hours.
4.
Yeah, boy.
It's a diffy boy.
Yum.
Boy.
Whoa, magic. Look at that. How good's that? Magical. Magic. Anyway, as you can see, Rex has been busy and I have not been here. New brakes going on, new rotors. He's got the calipers and stuff outside. He's painting that up too. Everything's getting painted.
I'm gonna have to
full Zach Porty spec, paint the lot.
Paint the shockies because they're gonna look weird if I put them back in the blue.
You my boy, Blue?
You my boy.
It's all happening. Tail shaft fits. We're freaking on here, boys. We're on.
But the only thing I still have to do is work out a handbrake cable.
Handbrake cable solution. Yes, that has to happen. Did you put in the ultra tight LSD?
Yeah, it's in there.
All right. Ultra tight LSD.
Real nice and tight.
Real shim to tap the shims in. All right, so there's a bit of a change of plans as far as the brake lines go. As we talked about, Rex had a brand new splitter, or divider, I should say. This line here is brand new for a Commodore, but the tube nut that goes into this end is different. So Rex's idea was to re-terminate the H-series brake line on the chassis with the correct tube nut to fit this, put the new brake line in, those will go straight onto the brake lines on the Commodore diff, and that'd be happy days, Bob's your auntie. Now the problem he had was where this actually is in the car, where he'd have to re-terminate was just gonna be a pain. It was just not gonna work very well. So Rex instead took the brake lines off the diff, re-terminated those with the correct tube nuts for the H-series divider. So that's actually going back in, and it's gonna suit these fine, and Bob's your auntie, that's how we got brake lines. So not getting a brand new line there anymore. Gonna be reusing this one, but that's all right. It did work fine, kinda, as far as brakes in this car go. It worked as well as brakes go. Which was that they slowed you down eventually, but the old big block 202 wasn't that big of a problem. Might be a bit of a problem with this turboed spicy LS. Oh, even the bolts, it's getting pretty wide.
Just those couple. There's heaps of others like the actual caliper bolts and stuff, they're not painted.
So they're just going to look gross and everything else is going to look real nice.
I was pretty much going to put everything together and then just go round and touch up a couple of bits.
A lot of effort for a bloody shitbox, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Righto, boys and girls, that's what we're up to on the big rig, all sorted. Brakes, brake lines, diff, shocks are in, tail shaft fits like a bloody thumb in a bum. We are happy days.
Worked out just like I wanted it to. It's good.
Mini 9-inch, it's in there.
As I was saying though, my only concern is just possibly the pinion angle, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
We'll have to wait and see. So, we were gonna just leave it at this, find some wheels to put on it, get it rolling, put it back outside in the naughty quarter for another 6 months till we got time to do something with it. So we talked about how we're gonna put, well actually maybe we didn't talk about how we're gonna do that, but anyway, the plan is a whole new master cylinder and booster, everything, from a WB
Statesman. So
WB Statesman.
Disc brake, front
disc
rear.
brake all rear. So obviously this would be ideal for this thing because it's going to be now it's disc brake front and rear, and you know all the rest, all that. So anyway, the plan was to put that in. We've got the master, but the problem we had was that the tube nuts that Rex bought for doing so didn't actually seal in the master, which is not even over here. I don't know why I'm showing you that, but they didn't go all the way into the master and seal. The nut head actually hit the master body before it would actually close down on the seat. So that was going to be a problem. But what Rex actually found was that the two nuts that he cut off these brake lines to do this, which I talked about just before, those nuts that he cut off actually fit the new master perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but much better. We can definitely make it work. So considering the tonner's already here, it's already in here, it's already here, ready to go, ready to be done. We're just going to go ahead and do that. So it'll be new master, new booster with those lines put on it, with those nuts put on those lines so that it works. The other thing Rex found, or the other thing that Rex did yesterday afternoon, which I didn't actually film, was change over the steering arms. So H-series steering arms, these puppies right here, there are two different lengths, two different sizes. We're not actually sure yet what the correlation is between the two sizes. We thought it might have been power steering and manual steering, but Yeah, we're not actually sure. It could just be something to do with different steering box ratios or something. But either way, in the H series,
I haven't found any consistency with like, because we've obviously got quite a few lying around.
Yeah.
But then there's a bunch of manual steering that have the short ones and all this other stuff. But it's impossible to know now because these things have been
they're
played
that
with
old.
over so many years.
Who knows?
Who knows what happened? So.
But basically, this thing always had like a really bad
Turning circle.
It always had just a really bad combination of steering components. And when it was manual steering, driving around with a big block 202 in it, it was actually very hard, strong arm steering. It was a pain to park. It was a pain to get around in tight spaces. And we always sort of just thought that it had the short arms on it with the manual box, and that's what made it so hard to steer. And then anyway, I don't know what the go is, but Rex stole. Are these ones longer?
No, they're the short ones.
Short ones.
Yeah, so that's what didn't make sense.
I don't know.
That's what didn't make sense was that it had such a terrible turning circle, but also had heavy steering. You're like, what? That's like the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, okay, so it had the short ones.
No, it had the long arms.
Had the long ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll pick up my brain one day.
So when we put the power steering in, now it's light as heck, but it's so the shit turning circle. So I've changed to the shorter arms to try and fix both. But like I said to you yesterday, it seems to be more to do with these lock stops. But now I'm looking at looking at them. I can't remember. I'm not sure if that's factory or not. But you can see where the arm, like where the actual steering arm's been hitting the lock stop. So I don't know what the deal is. But either way, the short arms are going to help. Just give a little bit more feedback.
Bit more feedback, yeah. Not quite so light.
Quicker steering.
So yeah, Rex pinched them off another H series tunnel we had down there yesterday, which I didn't film. But yeah, it's got no steering arms in it now. Different steering arms, not new. But anyway, the old faithful tire machine, back in service, back to work. Palmer's Tyre Centre.
Back to school.
1970s, eat your heart out. Back when 15s were a big wheel.
Yeah, it kind of limits us a little.
Yeah, you can do, we have done 16s? 17s?
I think we might have done 17s.
Yeah, we might have done 17s on this thing.
The limit.
But yeah, this thing, 17s is as big as they go. Not a bad thing to have in the paddock though. So, after all that, getting these to seal on the bead, dragging up the tire machine, getting all that done, they don't fit. When they did it up tight, they clashed on the nut for the hanger for the spring and locked the wheel solid. So even after all that, Rex has still got to find other wheels to put on.
I'm pretty mad.
Whole waste of time.
I'm pretty mad.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Fresh. Fresh as the day. All right, as you can see, guys, Rex's beautiful new brake lines. Yeehaw, new master. We're on. Getting the professional machine alignment happening. That's it. You got to get right down.
Yep.
Got to get right down there. Spider-Man that.
Get right into
Yeah.
it.
How is she, mate?
Way out.
Yeehaw, boys and girls. Goes well, stops well. I don't know if you can see from the footage, but even on the dirt, locks up the fronts before it locks up the rears, which is awesome. That's something that Rex was a little bit worried about with it being so light in the rear and now having disc brakes. But yeah, that's one huge step closer for the big girl. finally having a shop ute. And from as you can hear, it's going to be ridiculously hilarious to drive around.
That's just on dirt and it's still doing that. Like, you only need the tiniest bit of load on the street, it will just be like...
So awesome. So anyway,
I don't know how loud it is from outside.
it's loud. It's very loud. It's awesome. It's great. So it's going to be sick. It's going to be a wicked shop ute. Obviously still quite a bit to go, but this is a huge step forward. So from here, it's sort out a handbrake cable solution. We need to sort out a set of wheels, sort out the front brakes, figure out what we're actually going to do with the front hubs and brakes. And then, you know, once we've decided what hubs we're going to be running on the front, then we can decide on a set of wheels. So does need wheels because obviously changing from H series to Commodore pattern, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the yellow tonner. The other thing that needs to be sorted out is gauges. Rex needs to sort out gauges of some sort. Thinking about putting one of those Defi all-in-ones in there somewhere. It's just the most sensible solution. Have everything digitally all in one place. It's nice and neat. And then obviously, if this thing's going to be a shop ute, a bit of a daily, we need to sort out a Stezza and some AC. So still a bit to go, but this is a great little leap forward. So obviously Stezza and AC and stuff doesn't need to be done for rego. Things like the brakes finished and having some good wheels and tires on it are needed for rego, so that's going to be the main priority. So that'll be the next episode. Hopefully isn't too far away, guys, but for now, obviously we have a whole heap of customer stuff still to catch up on, but that was a great little thing to just still get out of the way and get done. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, smash like, smash subscribe, go to the part shop, buy yourself some parts, go to the merch shop, buy yourself some merch. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, see you, bye.